Hey man, how's it going? Monday fun day. We're going to look at deploying AI with your budget. In our household, we love using Tiller as a personal finance software. We've just found it to be unbelievable. It's spreadsheet based and it is supported by an incredible community. And it works with Google Sheets and Excel. You're going to find, in my opinion, that it is vastly superior to all of the other personal finance software apps that are out there. We've looked at all of them. Quicken is garbage. Monarch Money, I want to love it more than I actually do. Tiller has been the one for us, and I'll show you more about that in a second. With Tiller, you're going to be able to download your entire personal financial budget and what's happening in your life once you've linked up all of your credit cards, your banks, your investment brokerage accounts, 401k, etc. Once you've linked all that to Tiller, it gives you a great overarching view of your personal financial situation. The tools within the community are unbelievable. We're going to download that as a CSV file. I've uploaded it already to Perplexity, a great AI platform that uses both Perplexity Pro, which we paid for, Chat GPT 4.0, and it also uses Opus and Sonnet. And so you're going to be really impressed with the results. At least I hope you are. So we're going to be able to ask questions about our budget, and we're going to make some tweaks and to the end of the month. So today's July 1st, 2024. And let's do this and then move on with our lives, right? Because this is just meant to be a tool so we get it going. So on the right here, you're going to see our budget, and I've shrunk all the categories so that you don't necessarily get lost in the sauce with our own actual personal financials. But you do see the percentages. So for auto and transportation, we budgeted a little over 10%. Credit cards just under 14. This is paying credit cards, just under 14%. Discretionary spending was 17 and change. Living expenses are 38 and change, etc. So you can see all that down the right, and all that came from Tiller. This is Tiller on your left. And all of these spreadsheets and more are available within their software platform. And the support community around it, like I said, is unreal. So I highly recommend this. Who doesn't have a Gmail account? If you do, it's great. And if you despise it and you're still using Yahoo or whatever, then you likely are using Excel. And in that case, this also syncs and works with Excel. So they're pulling your financial data on a daily basis, and they're putting it all in one spot. We absolutely love it. So that's Tiller. So our budget is being deployed into Sequence. All of these spending categories, we have turned them into checking accounts. So we have an auto and transportation checking account. We have a living checking account. We have savings and investments. We have a utilities account. And so the practical application of that of our budget from our personal finance software is in Sequence. This is Sequence. This is a money map. This is a router. And within Sequence, you can link all of your external financial institutions. Our balances for all these accounts have been whited out, but we've got Navy Federal as our bank. We have America First for our automobile loan. We have an Apple card. We got a couple Discover cards. And so those are the external financial institutions that are linked. And then money can get moved to or from those accounts based upon a whole rule structure, which I highly encourage you to go into Sequence. I'll have a link in the show notes to the playground where you could toy around with it and get a sense of like, what is this doing exactly? What is this doing? It's removing the tedium of your daily, weekly, monthly financial moves that you need to do, getting it out of your head and automated. So then you don't have to think about it and stress about it as much. I have to tell you, we've been doing this for 3, almost 4 months now, and the changes in our spending, it's been fantastic. And I hope you get the same kind of success. You can set this up any way you want. And just as a quick, kind of setup, like I said, all of our accounts like auto and transportation, credit cards, discretionary, living, you can see them here. Auto, credit cards, discretionary, living, etc. So money comes in and then it gets split. And it gets split. Well, you can't see the percentages on the screen here because it's anonymizing all of our information for purposes of making this video. those are the percentages, and we're happy to share that with you. So those are our percentages and how it's broken down. We wanted to put ourselves on a budget so that we could aggressively pay down debt, and so we could really start pushing money into investing. We are vehement about being able to retire by the age of 60, and we're not playing. So in order to maintain our quality of life and remove the fluff, remove things that don't need to be happening, we've gotten pretty militant about it. But we also don't want to be stressing about it and sitting there each day nitpicking each other. And so we're really starting to get into a flow. The whole purpose of this video is to review how our budget went last month, ask AI some questions about it and how we could improve upon it, implement those changes, and go have some fun. So that's what we're doing. So let's get to the AI bit. So the AI bit, we went in and we asked him, we said, hey, Perplexity, please analyze our spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet from our whole workbook here, from what we had here, this is the whole workbook from Tiller. And so we've got our monthly budget. We've got transactions that have come in and got categorized. We had the categories that we had set up in months prior. We have a monthly budget calendar and the accounts. I clicked on all those tabs and I downloaded all of them as a CSV file. I uploaded them. That's what you see right here. And then we asked the question. We said, look, please analyze the attached spreadsheet and workbook. What we're trying to accomplish is to minimize and optimize transfers that we're doing to our sub-accounts. We have been setting up our transfers from our salaries on a weekly basis based upon the percentages that we see in our budget. However, a few times a month, we're having to make tweaks and move money around a bit based upon the transactions history and the budget that you see on the budget tab. Make recommendations on how the budgets could be changed for the disbursement of our paychecks. As part of the 50-30-20 paradigm, so living, discretionary or fun money, and savings, like that's the 50-30-20 paradigm. I didn't create it. It's out there in the world. I wasn't really a huge believer in it in the past, but I come to find out that naturally this is what we had been setting up. So I incorporated it because some of you may have heard of it and be believers in it, or be talking to a certified financial planner, which I'm not, but I am a business operator and I know numbers. So as part of the 50-30-20 paradigm, credit card payments are part of the 20% savings category and should be considered as such. So what is Perplexity seen based upon our transaction history? Okay, so here we are. Here are the recommendations for adjusting the percentages for disbursement of your paychecks in grid format. I had a follow-up question and I asked everything to be put into grid format. So here it is. Discretionary spending, change that from 17.7 to 15. Auto and transport, keep it at 10. Credit cards, bump it down to 10. Living expenses, put it at 40%. Utilities at 5. Insurance at 5. Kids at 5. And savings and investments at 15. So there we go. So we're going to apply those percentages and see how our month goes. Last month went great. We were under budget. We cash flowed for the month. We paid down credit cards pretty significantly. And we also put a good chunk into investments and into savings. So these percentages we're going to do our best to adhere by. And so in order to do that, Tiller is the exercise in looking backwards and how did we actually do. These percentages, these percentages are what we're going to add to the formula in sequence. There's a rule structure that you could set up, and the area to set up rules is up here. So you click on there, you add rules. When money hits your account and Natalie's account, it's going to get split by given percentages. When it gets split, it's going to get shot into all these accounts based upon as soon as money is received in the salary report, split it by these percentages. So the changes that we're going to make this month, we're going to make the changes based upon what you see here. These are the current percentages on how money was being split, and those percentages came from our historical purchasing history. So before we started implementing this rule structure, we took 2 months And we said, all right, well, let's start being responsible. Let's start trying to curtail this stuff. We know what our goals are. We don't need to eat out as much. We don't need to, there's a couple things, the areas where we do want to have quality of life, we'll be sure to maintain them. But we're going to start kind of corralling stuff a little bit here and being responsible. And then a byproduct of doing that is we had these percentages, and now we're just dialing it a little bit further, right? So we're going to see how that goes. Those percentages will get implemented, and I'll talk to you in a month about that. Monthly review will come first of the month. So I'm pretty excited. It's working. And I don't fuss with it anymore. I'm not worried about making my credit card payments. They're all automated. Yes, I could have gone into every single one of these accounts and separated it. Instead, I wanted to be in control because the rule structure is really super cool, guys. You have to check it out. You can make the minimum payment. You could pay down last month's statement. You could do a minimum payment plus a percentage. You could pay down these debts to a certain percentage. With credit cards, you want to keep it 30% or less for optimal credit utilization. We found money and we whittled away so that we could put money into investments and so that we could get more stuff going for kids camp and for savings for our kids and for retirement. We got a few accounts that are off screen, but those are also additional aspirations that we have and things that we want to take care of. But long story short, your budget, analyze it with AI and ask good probative questions, then apply those percentages to the forward-looking. That's what Sequence is doing. I'm now concerned with the next check and how it's going to get split up based upon our agreed upon rule structure. And with that, these checks, as soon as they hit, you want to know what your spending is for this week? Boom, it just hit discretionary. You have $438 this week to spend on going out to eat, on entertainment or whatever, because this is what we agreed upon that we want to do. Money is automatically getting stockpiled into rent. It's automatically getting fired off into auto and transportation. You could slowly start ferreting that money aside with each check. Maybe you get paid monthly or get paid bi-weekly. Either way, this helps you kind of bridge the gap so you don't have this unnecessary pressure with any given paycheck that comes in for paying off, a big bill that's about to hit. Everything just kind of gets split. You could set this rule structure up in any way, shape, or form that you want. I like using a little bit of AI every now and again to dial this thing in a bit more and to get it really where it needs to be. And so that's what we've done. Perplexity is awesome, guys. I highly recommend it. And so we have been dialing this in every single month. Every single month, we're getting better and better. And the amount of money that we have found to be able to put into investing has been unreal. It's been unreal. We're on track. We will be retired by the age of 60, and we will have everything where we want. And I hope the same for you. I really wish this stuff was around years ago, man. Check out Tiller and check out Sequence. I'll have links in the show notes. Have a good one.